How did these two laid-off desk workers turn $153 into over $58,000 a month?
Buckets and squeegees, which is technically all we had when we started having $1,000 days.
Watch as they reveal the marketing strategy that can bring you sales on autopilot.
When you combine that old school marketing with the new school, it's a powerful combination to get more business.
Discover genius marketing techniques so effective, customers may come knocking down your door.
You're probably gonna get a little swag bag. We're trying to tell a different story. We're trying to get people to think about window cleaning that have never thought about it before.
And at last, learn to avoid the dangerous success myth that most entrepreneurs fall prey to.
And then another, I don't even know if I want to share this, but another little like secret.
I feel for the people that feel stuck. If you're in a job where you feel like you're not firing on all cylinders, there is more for you out there.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there.
All right, Brandon Carter, I see squeegees, I see buckets. I'm excited to find out about your story. Before we do that though, tell us a little bit about Pinks, its scale, its mission, etc.
It's all about just flipping the script on blue collar. We saw all these companies coming in and getting all this business, but they weren't really delivering on their promises of making things better than they found it, showing up on time. Seems like a pretty low bar. We saw a need and we entered.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool if there was a cleaning company like that. Oh well.
And when was your first job that you ever completed?
It's actually at this house about almost 4 years ago. We honestly knocked and we said, hey, we just started this business. We'd love to get better. Can we clean your house for free? And he's like, I'm not gonna let you do it for free, but go ahead.
We were the charity case.
Yeah, we were the charity case.
There you go, and 4 years later, we're standing on the lawn, still doing the business.
Back here, I think it took us almost 7 hours to do it the first time. Now we can do this house in about an hour and a half.
Amazing. Do you offer a variety of services, or is it simply just window cleaning?
Window cleaning is the bread and butter. It's like 85% of the business, but we also have all kinds of add-ons. We'll pressure wash your driveway, we'll soft wash your house, we'll do a gutter clean, high dusting, we'll clean the light fixtures on the house. Anything outside, we'll clean it for you.
Here's a tough question for you guys watching. Do you think that you need to be passionate about the work that you do, or is the old adage of do what you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life pure fantasy and fluff? Let us know what you think in the comments below. All right, I'm here to help, so let's get to washing. I get the sense this isn't as simple as it looks, so teach me some techniques that absolutely are phenomenal.
Yeah. Let's get you suited up first, though. We gotta get you in uniform.
All right, let's do it. Boom! I'm looking good.
You look.
That was quick.
Very good.
Welcome to the team.
That was the whitest thing ever.
We're hired. You look real good.
In. So when we got started, that's all we were doing. We just had squeegee and a bucket.
2 tools.
And a house like this would have taken like 6 hours. Now we use a little combination of a water-fed pole and this bucket and squeegee.
All right, let me give this a shot.
It's all about just irritating the dirt.
Gravity's your friend here, so we're starting cleaning everything from the top down.
That's what I'm talking about,
It's like
Paul.
you guys have done a window cleaning company
Holy
before.
smokies.
Oh, stop it. I'm not that good.
You're like a blue collar revolution guy. Come on.
Again, started this without any experience.
Right.
How are you getting your first customers? What's the technique? Obviously, there's very little budget. You've got 2 tools. That's really all we're working with.
The technique is, well, one, you have to be okay with telling everybody what you're up to. You have to be okay with telling your family, your friends, hey, I'm a window cleaner now, and that's what I'm doing, because your first customers are usually your family and your friends. That's how we started. We just buzzed around town, including my parents' house, his in-laws' house, all that, and we wouldn't charge them, but then they would pay us. So we get, because we were the charity case, they felt bad for us.
Right.
We were just trying to get the story out.
Right.
Yeah. And we're also we're perfecting our craft, trying to figure out how to actually do the window cleaning side of it. But like our main strategy was just go super deep in residential. So target that ideal gated community and just be the mayor, be the only guy that they know cleaning windows, and just get the story out. So we were cleaning houses in ideal neighborhoods for free, just to
not
show
much
what we
IG
got.
at this point, not much Facebook,
We're doing a little
none
bit.
of that.
And then the other big piece was on the commercial side of the business. We would walk into commercial sites, so restaurants, storefronts, coffee shops, whatever, and we would just be like wearing the uniform and letting them know, hey, we want to clean your windows. How can we make this happen? People get it. When you're out there hustling and door knocking and doing all that, yeah, you'll get some rude people that slam the door in your face, but most people are people and like they care.
And that resonates everywhere. We're not being
support
salesy. We're just trying to take care of your issues.
Yeah.
All right, well, this time I'll let you do it. I want to see kind of
Carter, get in there.
4 years of experience.
4 years.
That's great.
The only feedback I would have is Jen. You can get a little
All right,
aggressive.
so you get another
You
aggressive.
don't have to be too friendly.
Wow, the window actually looks really sparkly clean, even
Oh, yeah.
though, you know, we're not squeegeeing it or anything.
Yeah.
Because of the, what do you call it? Reverse?
Reverse osmosis
Yeah.
deionization is the
Show them that
process.
reader right there. We got
yeah.
the reader that tells you exactly what your TDS is. And
So we're at 0. When water comes out of the spigot, it's
Yeah.
at, and in Texas, it's around 200, 250.
Whoa, and you're at 0.
We're at 0, just demineralize the water, so there's no chlorine or anything that comes
If you
out.
don't do that, we're going to have streaks. We're going to have
You're gonna have
a pretty
spots,
bad looking
water
window.
spots all over the window.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about margins, you guys? Like, we're doing residential jobs right
Right.
now. What about commercial? How do the margins vary?
Basically the same, not much of a difference. Now we might make a little less margin on like commercial
Commercial
storefronts because the frequency is so high. We'll give the
You have to do a
customer
discount?
steeper discount.
I
Yeah.
see.
But if the
So-
routing is good and we can stack them all up at the same time, the margin's actually the best.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can hit like 3 storefronts
Oh, yeah. One
like
street.
in 30 minutes, and we have individual checkouts with all of them. So it's like $100 a pop, and you're there for 30 minutes.
All right, since we're wrapping up here, let's go take care of the back and do some squeegee work.
Let's make it happen.
I like it.
See you later. All right, so you guys obviously had phenomenal growth.
Nice.
Talk to us about the year-over-year revenue, Brandon.
Our first full year of business, we did $250,000 in revenue.
That's not bad.
And then we've grown it year 3, we're at, I think, 740 something.
What?
And then this year, you know, we'll do right at $1 million. So super exciting. It's a fun milestone to get to that 7-figure.
So how are you attracting residential and commercial clients as it is today? What are you using as far as tools?
Right. So we do a whole lot of social media spend, and that's like the new school marketing is social media, ads on Instagram, SEO work, all of that. But then the old school methods are still there, which is I'm going to go knock on doors. I'm going to do the courtesy knock. Let's say we're doing this house right here and our van's parked out front. I'm going to knock on the neighbors' doors to make sure they know that I'm here. And then a lot of times that generates an estimate.
Things go a
So
long
when
way.
you combine that old school marketing, which is door knocking, hustling, all that, with the
Right.
new school, which is the social media, Facebook, Instagram, SEO, all that, it's a powerful combination to get
Yeah.
more business.
That's your SpaceX rocket to success.
There you go.
So what else are you doing to market, attract new customers, commercial or residential?
Yeah, a big thing we do is we strategically park the vans in high visibility places.
Interesting.
So we have cut a deal with a commercial real estate company here in town. We clean one of their buildings for free, so they get one monthly clean a month. And in
Tricky.
exchange,
Smart.
we get an empty dirt lot,
Right.
and we get to park our vans.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a huge commercial real estate company. It's like you could do this with the local Subway. You'd be
Anybody,
like, yeah,
really.
yeah, I'll clean those windows once a month if I can just park in your lot.
Right.
Just make it high visibility and never pay for it. There's no reason to ever have to pay for that.
What about residential clients? What's happening there to kind of attract, create
Yeah.
more recurring revenue?
Yeah, we think, I mean, the brand obviously is so strong, but we do a little merch bundle every single time we do a new
cool.
customer.
And then we've created these cleaning plans. And if you get on one of our cleaning plans, you're probably going to get a little swag bag.
That's awesome. No, it's very creative. Let's talk about briefly some challenges you guys faced in the first year specifically. Like
Yeah.
what comes to mind?
I think the biggest challenge we faced was just like figuring out like which system go with, which platform.
Trying bad tech, trying bad equipment, and just making a lot of mistakes through like, oh, that was such a waste of money to buy XYZ.
I wonder if we can avoid that though, as entrepreneurs getting started. Besides the franchise,
You know
Yes.
where I'm going.
let's say if
Yeah.
I can't go that route yet,
Yeah.
what would you do differently knowing what you know now if you could go back and do it again?
I would even say like go find a competitor and figure out like what are they using, and then ask the workers. Most people are so nice and happy to share anything.
Great answers. All right. Well, I keep spraying you. We're done here at the residential, so why don't we go and do some commercial work?
Let's hit it. Come on,
Okay, guys. All right, let's talk about this magical van behind us, especially the wrap. Where did the idea of the wrap come from? What did it cost you? And ultimately, what is it doing for your business?
Yeah, I think that's probably one of our biggest regrets is we didn't do this sooner. Honestly, it's been the best billboard, one of our best forms of marketing besides the hat.
Worth the investment? What are we talking about? Like
100%.
4 to 5 grand probably?
Oh yeah, 45 grand for the actual wrap, but
Yeah.
like the amount of
425.
yeah,
425
grand, yes.
45.
But the amount of people that have like seen this and then filled out a form on our website and said, "Hey, I saw a van." It's probably
lot.
5 to 8% of our revenue.
Wow.
We also park these strategically on a busy road in Austin. So all 4 of our vans are lined up on North Lamar in Austin, and probably 10 or 50,000, who knows what the number is.
We call it
cars
parketing.
drive by.
Little parketing play, so you got to have
yeah.
it in the right spot.
I like that.
gets, yeah, everybody talking.
And our whole thought was like, let's make it look different than other service company vans. Most of their service company vans are
Different,
just
yeah.
white, and they have like the Facebook logo and the Instagram logo, and we're like, no, like
And what's the most like timeless van you can think
good
of that's
point.
been on the road forever? the mailman. The mailman, he's got that red and blue stripe all the way around. So we're like, oh, I love that. Let's emulate it. And we just did our pink and white stripe all the way around.
Let's do it. Let's check a look. Check a look. Check a look in the back.
Take a quick look at the back. Look at all that.
Take a look.
Let's see. Let's do the Paul Akers lean organized test.
Sniff test.
Yeah.
I'd say you're pretty close.
Smells
Ooh,
good.
Pretty close. I can't give you a 10. So you have everything we need, right? I mean, anything you want to highlight as far as what's in here?
I mean, the best part is, like, it's pretty dang minimal, and we don't have another storage facility somewhere else.
So you guys are a window cleaning service company, but you also sell and provide branded merch, right?
Yeah.
Not only are you wearing it, but you're providing it to
can
others.
buy
So
this.
let's elaborate more about the importance of branding. Like, what's your advice to entrepreneurs that maybe haven't nailed it quite yet?
Yeah, we truly think we were the first movers in branding a service company. And the reality was, like, nobody's getting their story out, and that's how you do it, through branding. Like, you have to have the brand, the story, so people can look at it and understand it right from the first beat.
Pinks, you would think you'd see pink, but I don't see any pink in there. So give us just a quick understanding of pinks as a whole and why there's no pink in pinks.
No, yeah, pinks is like the accent color. So I think in a lot of ways, if everything was pink, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's kitschy.
A little too loud.
With this, it's like, it's clean, navy and white. We have pink towels in all of our back pockets. We have pink pins in the shirts. And then whenever we go into a house, we're putting on pink shoe booties. So it's like the specific
Little
things that
touches
you're
there.
like, oh, that's what's gonna catch my eye. That's what I'm gonna remember, is like his attention to detail, that he put shoe booties on. They happen to be pink, and it's pink.
Talk more specifically about how merch came about, because you're selling it to your customers, or are you just giving it to anybody on the street?
At first, we were just giving it out to everybody because people were asking, but then we had people all over that were like, hey, how can I buy it? So we're like, we should have a shop. So
Opportunity.
Opportunity. So we started making more hats, shirts, socks, kind of the whole rigmarole of like different ways we get our name out there.
And how are you getting people to wear them?
They were asking. So it was pretty much anyone who asked, be like, heck yeah, there's free advertising right there.
But it all started with the brand. And so like we created like fun, cool merch that we wanted to wear ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think because it was good enough for us and we were proud to wear it, our friends and our family and acquaintances wanted to wear it and buy it from us as well. So I think that's like the whole key behind Pinks, is like, we're trying to tell a different story. We're trying to get people to think about window cleaning that have never thought about it before. And when you think about a brand like Yeti, what do? They make coolers and they make cups. But every person in Texas, at least, has a Yeti hat, a Yeti shirt, a Yeti bumper sticker on their truck. I think the same thing for us. Like, we clean windows. It's something very simple, just like Yeti, but we're trying to do it in a different way with a brand that people want to associate with, and that's the whole goal behind it.
How big is your team currently? And as you continue to scale and grow, how are you finding the talent, to join your team?
We stay pretty lean. We've got 8 guys, so 4 vans, 2 guys to a van.
Okay.
All W-2 employees, all committed to getting 40 hours a week. And luckily enough, I feel like with having the first service that's like a branded company, the people that are applying kind of understand what they're getting into. That being said, yes, there's people that reach out. We love headhunting. Like, we love spending time going to coffee shops, restaurants. And
I was going to say, where are you finding it?
Yeah, exactly. Hospitality people. We're not finding blue collar guys.
The best way to see someone and how they're going to work is watch them where they're currently at.
Right.
So what we like to do is just be involved, go eat at restaurants, go to coffee shops, and like see the guy who's just outworking everybody, has that hospitality bend in their personality. And that's who we want on our team.
And we think we have a super compelling offer. It's like, hey, what if you had a job where you have so much autonomy, you're kind of running your calendar day by day, you don't have to come back to the same place every day. Hey, we'll cover your lunches, and it's a pretty predictable schedule. You're not working nights, and you're only working Monday through Friday.
That's awesome. Brandon and Carter would be the first ones to tell you window washing might not be the sexiest job, but a sparkling window can make all the difference for your business. Windows, like websites, are your customers' first look into your business, and competing for their attention isn't easy these days. So while Pinks helps with the real windows, having a .online domain is how your business can stand out. .online is the world's second largest new domain name extension with over 3.4 million active domains globally. Whether you're kicking it old school with an offline business, fully digital, or somewhere in between, .online domains instantly separates you from the pack. Why settle for a dusty old .com when you can snag the perfect domain name with .online? Their vast inventory means you get what you want. Not to mention, having online in your domain gives your business an instant SEO boost, making it easier for customers to find you. You can get .online domains from registrars like GoDaddy, Namecheap, or builders like Wix, but for a limited time, you can get your .online domain for just 99 cents for the first year, using the link in the description and the exclusive code UpFlip. Make your business shine online with .online domains. What is the most stressful part of operating your business, and how do you guys manage stress?
I think the most stressful part of the business really is the pressure. Like if we don't perform, then one, we have bills to pay. Like we got a mortgage, we got rent, we got all these
employees
things.
too.
Yeah. If we don't work hard and we don't find success, then we don't have food on our table and our employees don't have food on their table. And so just like there's a natural pressure there, but we also we love it. And then we also just want to make sure we have great systems. And that just takes so much bandwidth and thought energy to think through the customer journey, the back end systems, all of that. And so like, how do we find that balance of like enjoy, but also like work?
Yeah.
The secret sauce is like enjoy your work.
All right, if this content's got you hooked, make sure to like and subscribe so that you don't miss our next episode with an entrepreneur who literally turns trash into treasure. Let's go across the street, show our audience the other commercial building you guys are working on, and continue the conversation.
Let's do it.
Staying alive.
Where's this landing
Staying
point?
alive.
Right there.
We're walking into this next location.
Boom.
So let's talk about the commercial aspect of your business as opposed to the residential aspect of your business. Is there a difference in frequency, and maybe share with us the percentage of commercial and residential in your business?
Yeah, it's 50-50.
Really?
And both feed each other. So commercial business drives residential business because when we're cleaning this restaurant, the customers of the restaurant see us and they say, well, I got windows at my house. Why don't you come over?
So drives residential.
And then residential also drives commercial because a lot of our residential customers own storefronts, coffee shops, restaurants, all that. So both just feed each other like crazy.
And obviously the frequency is a little bit higher with the commercial. Like in this instance, we're here weekly doing these. Whereas on the residential side, at best, we're seeing a quarterly or maybe even a monthly for some people that love taking care of it.
What about profit margins? Are they higher on the resi or
Weirdly
commercial?
enough,
or?
they're probably higher on the, they are higher on the residential because commercial tends to be a lot more price sensitive. And then also a lot of these jobs, the frequency is so high that we bring the cost down.
Right. Yeah.
So your margin's
make
not
it
as
work.
good.
Where did the idea of franchising come from? How did you two know it was like the right move to make? At what point?
Right. Well, when we started Pinks in Austin and like we started to have some success here, we had friends and family members and acquaintances that hit us up from all over the country and said, hey, like, can we bring Pinks to our city? Like, I want to do this. This seems interesting.
Really?
We just didn't have a vehicle to like package up the Pinks business and like give it to them or sell it to them with.
Not yet.
Not until we met the guys over at ResiBrands. And that's when we had this desire to grow and scale, but we didn't necessarily have the know-how to do that. Well, ResiBrands is doing what we're doing with Pinks and the service business with franchising. They're flipping the script on franchising, giving unprecedented service to the franchisees. And so we like started to date them, if you will, for a few months.
That's fair, right? You got
to we said, hey,
date a little.
Let's partner and like let's scale this thing out to the entire country.
How many locations, or what was your revenue like before Resi came into the pictures?
When we signed the agreement with them last year, our revenue was about at $740,000.
Oh, so you grew quite a bit at that point.
Grew, and then
That's 3 years.
3 years.
yeah, year three, and then this year we'll do like just over $1 million in revenue. So some of their processes has like greatly benefited us, specifically like the digital advertising, the Connect Center, all that. That's been super helpful and beneficial to our business.
How many locations are you anticipating to open, and where do you think you'll be by the end of this year?
So currently we're, I believe, 85 locations
We have 95.
sold.
95 sold. I
Okay.
talked to Jay yesterday. 95 sold.
Oh my!
Probably another 10 in legal. So by the end of the month, we'll have 100. But will those all be launched? And that's different than territories versus locations.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So there's not 100 owners, but there's 100 territories.
Territories, okay.
Right.
So within 90 days, as you mentioned, those businesses are going to be fully operational.
That's right.
Ideally. All right, blitz time with these two dudes right here. First question: what's the strangest request a customer has had?
Shirts off.
Wow. Like wash my windows with no shirts?
Shirts off. Uniforms optional.
Let's go, baby. Okay, what's one small thing that everyone could be doing to take care of their windows?
Hire us.
Taking care of them.
If Pinks could do a merch collab with any brand, what brand would it be, and what merch would it be?
Carter?
Oh my gosh, on the spot, that's so hard. Probably double RL.
Okay.
Ralph Lauren double RL.
Ralph, if you're watching this,
He doesn't do collabs.
If you could change one aspect of your business, what would it be and why?
This is supposed to be blitz.
Where's the blitz? Come
Yeah,
on.
I know, but these are harder than I thought they were going to be. I wish we didn't power wash. I wish we could sustain with just windows.
Just windows. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Best piece of personal financial advice you've ever received since making a lot of money?
Tithe.
tithe.
Give it away.
No, I totally agree. That's a blessing right there. What's one famous landmark that you'd love the chance to clean the windows of?
We haven't done the Capitol. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
Texas
cool.
Capitol.
Right at the dome. Okay, fill in the blank. You shouldn't become an entrepreneur if you can't.
Bet on yourself.
Last one. What's the guiding principle that helps get you through the toughest of times?
That it's all going to be okay. Like, the good Lord has us.
What's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah.
We got each other.
We got each
You
other.
gotta go
why we
back
got
to
in
95.
together.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing.
Oh, yeah.
The worst thing that can happen to us is just going back to cleaning windows ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Boom. You guys nailed it. What is the secret to a successful and healthy business partnership that we are clearly witnessing here, which is awesome, right? Conflicts arise, so talk to us about your dynamic.
I think the fact that we're just committed to each other, like whether it's Pinks or whatever the next thing is, like Brandon and I just want to work together.
Yeah.
Like that is what it's all about, and it's a lot like a marriage. I feel like we say that all the time.
What's the difference between you? Are you more creative or
That
operational?
helps a lot.
Where
It's like
is that?
there's so much yin and yang where Brandon's so operational focused, comes from a finance
this guy.
background. I know none of that. I'm like, hey, what's the feel? What's the brand? What's the story?
You're the creative then,
a
right?
little bit more the creative side.
Our skill sets totally complement each other. It's kind of like a marriage in a lot of ways.
it is, yeah.
Like,
It's all about over communicating.
I always say, and I always think to myself, like, Pinks would not exist if it wasn't for Carter because of his genius branding mindset, his creativeness, and like, I like totally believe that there would be no Pinks without
I
Mr.
say the
Carter.
same thing. I'm like, we wouldn't make $1. We wouldn't have a single system if Brandon wouldn't have interjected and be like,
True.
there needs to be some structure.
We can't just take cash.
Yeah, I would be taking cash all the time. It wouldn't work.
All right, so clearly you guys have control for business at this entire block. So let's go check out another customer of yours just across the street.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us about your relationship with ResiBrands. How did that manifest, and why are they such a critical partner in the big picture?
It all started through a friend of mine who connected Carter and I to ResiBrands. And it started really with a 6-hour-long meal at a burger joint in North Austin. But the reason it was a 6-hour meeting is because of just like the value alignment.
Yeah, initially franchising kind of felt like the F word. It was like, ugh, that's the quickest way to lose your brand, lose your voice, just kind of sell out. But then once we met up, we're like, oh, you're doing it different.
Broken that up for you a little bit, right? That misconception or...
Yeah, oh, 100%, because almost all these franchises, they outsource every aspect, whether it's the Connect Center, marketing, ads.
I see,
Resi
interesting.
did it different. They flipped it, and they brought everything in-house. So if anything's wrong or we need to fix an ad, fix something in the call center, we just walk down the hall, we can straighten it out. So it's like quick service.
Why not do it yourself?
It takes so much.
That's just not what you want to focus
The
on.
legal, the call center, the marketing team, like the office,
Yeah,
the office
it is.
culture, office manager. Like, we love what we do and we're really good at it. ResiBrands is
makes
so
sense.
good at franchising. And so it really, like, we wanted to grow and they wanted a window cleaning company. It felt like a total just like match made in heaven.
Beyond revenue, how else do you measure the success of your business?
Yeah, I feel like the culture is kind of everything. Every single time we go visit a territory, right away we can tell, like, is this a successful location? Because of the culture, and it's like, can you tell that everybody's here to help grow something and they're committed to each other and like there's a good energy behind it? And they're like, they have feedback, and you're hearing from like the smallest employer, like the lowest technician position, has an opinion or has an idea about how to do something, and that's like, boom, triggered. This kid wants to hustle. Like, these guys are bought in and they're trying to look at the big picture of like, how do I get to my boss's job?
It really is on the franchisee or the owner of the business to like set the table to create that environment. And I think the most like tangible way like we look for culture is that franchisee asking his or her team members questions about jobs, about their lives. Hey, like, how was the job yesterday?
Right.
Here's what the week looks like.
How did the interaction go with the customer?
How was that interaction? Or like, or how was your weekend?
Gotcha. Can you give us a quick breakdown without explaining what each means on the KPIs, the most important ones?
Estimates per day, close rate, Google reviews, and the big one, recurring revenue. That's what we love at Pinks.
Mr. Operations here, let's talk to you for a second about how you ensure consistency and standardized operations across all locations.
Right.
What's the key?
A big key is we want to make it as easy as possible for the customer to say yes. On the flip side, we have to make it really easy for our franchisees to say yes and to want to use our systems.
And this is something we do when anybody's interested in buying at Pinks is, hey, go get some competitor quotes and then compare it to ours. Can you understand what you're paying for? Is it very clear? And are there pictures? Yeah. Is it presented well to where you know, hey, there's probably no hidden fees here and I feel good about going with this company?
So you guys are proof that change doesn't happen by chance. What do you say to those who currently feel maybe undervalued, unsatisfied in their current position, job? What's the first step they need to take to make that change happen?
One, I just want to say, like, I feel for the people that feel stuck. And what I want to like encourage them with is, if you're in a job where you feel like you're not firing on all cylinders, and like mentally, and you're just not enjoying it, like there is more for you out there. Like,
no doubt.
You can absolutely do something you like, that you even love, and that you feel like there's purpose behind. So
what do we get ourselves fired?
Yeah.
Or
I will say, like,
pandemic.
we consider
no more,
it a
please.
total blessing that we got let go from our jobs, because it's so hard when you have a salary, your 401k match, medical insurance, all that, to like let that go to start. Like, it takes a crazy person to do that.
Yeah.
And so
The security of it.
The security,
right?
yeah. So what I would say is just like, take that first step. In our experience, like if you go all in, it'll be the most rewarding thing. And then whenever you're 65 or 70 years old, you can look back and say, hey, at least I tried it. Like, you'll have no regrets.
Absolutely.
So jump in, it's worth it. Even if it fails, it's worth it.
All right, let's go check out and see what your team members are doing. It seems like they're in control of this whole street, washing windows everywhere and every window. So let's go say hi.
Let's go.
You guys kind of have the whole block here almost, it seems like. Not just the one business, right? But across the street.
Yeah,
there.
all about routing. It's like if we're coming back to the same place, we might as well start stacking jobs because we're going to be there anyway. So yeah, that's definitely part of the secret sauce.
What does it cost the customer for the service that you guys are providing? Give us an
Because the frequency is so high, we have
Yeah.
these guys on a more preferred rate. Let's say this was a one-off job and we were just coming out to do them alone.
Be
Obviously,
different.
the price would be higher. But because we have this relationship where we're coming back every other week, I think we have them at like 150, 160 bucks. That's per visit every other week. And we bill per visit. So we have this company's card on file. So we come in, clean the windows, the guys finish, they can
Yep.
hit bill, invoice right there on their phones. It runs their card, hits our bank account, and that's kind of,
Nice.
trying
Helps
to have
the
that
cash
with
flow
every,
out.
helps the cash flow a lot. Typically, commercial
Fully
business is like
automated.
net 45, so you're sitting around waiting on all this stuff. But for us,
That's
it's a little
awesome.
different. Having that trust and having the cards on file is a huge deal.
How do you guys successfully motivate your team members? And what is your advice to entrepreneurs looking to do the same? Give us specifics.
Yeah, I would say two things. One, money. Money talks. So anytime our guys sell anything, we give them a 10% commission on
fair.
that sale. So they'll get that 10% in perpetuity.
Wow.
Secondly, we incentivize them just with purpose and with culture. So we have a team meeting every Monday. We buy them breakfast. We pay for these guys' lunches every single day.
What are some mistakes that you guys have made as you continue to grow this business? What have you learned from them?
Yeah, I think first thing that comes to mind is we just hired too soon in some areas. And I think so much behind Pinks is like we're hiring passionate hospitality people that we kind of turn into workers. And so we are seeing franchises make their biggest mistakes if they're just hiring the first guy that's saying, I can clean windows.
Okay.
We're trying to build leaders.
How do we identify that one leader or passionate person as opposed to someone who's not?
In the first interview, we're kind of pitching them on the big picture. It's like, hey, we want you to go have your own Pinks one day. We want you to understand the day-to-day, the smallest piece of it, so that one day you're a business owner, or we can go put you somewhere where you're the GM. So kind of getting the big picture and understanding like, hey, there's trajectory here. This isn't just your average blue collar, get my hands dirty, check the box, 9 to 5 thing.
You can tell that pretty quick with the initial interview is what you're saying.
If you can't talk about the business or or a great representation of the brand, it's probably not going to work.
Culture.
Yeah. What about other mistakes? Give us some more besides hiring two
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I think we had trouble, this is on the flip side of that,
Yeah.
of what we call delegating and elevating. I think we held on to task too
good one.
much for a long period of time. So we were on the glass for almost a year versus like hiring people and trusting people and empowering them to take it over for us so that we could elevate and focus on more selling and marketing efforts.
Really good. I bet it does not only good to you as a CEO founders, right, to grow and scale the business, but also encourages him as a team member. It was like, well, these guys are trusting me. I could take the reins and run with it.
Absolutely.
I can imagine it does a lot of good things.
It does. I think it's all about coming back to that potential conversation. Like everybody inside of them has this untapped potential. And so our job is to just like bolster these people up and encourage them, be a resource for them so that they can be empowered to go and run with the business.
What are you looking for from potential franchisees? Like, how do you know they're the right fit for
It's like, at the end of the day, whenever we get on these kind of group calls or interviews, we don't care if you have a ton of money to throw at something. We really care, like, is this something you're actually passionate about? And you're someone that can rally a team. Like, whenever we get on these calls, we're kind of really trying to see, hey, is this a guy I would want to go, or a girl that I would want to work for? Do I believe that they can incentivize someone? And if that's not the case, like, it's probably not a great company to buy.
We're also looking for someone who's involved in their community. We don't want just someone that like sits back in their home office. We want someone who goes to the coffee shop, who goes to the local restaurant, who knows everybody in their
Interacting
town.
with everybody.
Yeah, like
we call it the mayor of window cleaning.
Exactly.
So as far as cost, though, let's say I want to open up a Pinks in Washington. What am I looking at time-wise, cost-wise, anything else you guys want to briefly highlight?
Yeah. So you're looking at a $59,000 franchise fee. That's the pay to play, pay to get the systems, the brand, the website, all set up on your behalf. After that, there's about another $60,000 of investment. So think van wrap, equipment, uniforms, hats, initial merch giveaways, all that. So you're looking at least $120,000 up to about $160,000 to get Pinks going in Washington, which I hope you buy.
Yeah. We'll see. Guys, if you're interested in learning more about the opportunity on becoming a part of Pink's team, we'll leave a special link for the UpFlip viewers in the description below. Make sure to check it out. All right, let's go check out the other area and the business that you guys actually network with and continue to spread the brand. Let's go check it out.
100%. Do it.
Yeah. So this is basically like an office that you create, right? Like you said off camera that you don't really have an office. Yep. You show up to places like this.
That's right.
Elaborate on what that does to the business, why you guys take that approach.
Yeah, so we could pay $10,000 and have a cool office building downtown, but we thought, how about we just office set cool coffee shops and restaurants in town where a lot of our residential customers already are. So one, we've won the coffee shops business, and two, a lot of our like high-end residential homeowners like to have brunch here and coffee here and all that. So
go to where your customers are, and it's not just that we worked there. It's like we worked in full uniform, and we were together. Yeah. So people are like, "What do these guys do? Windows? Great! I have windows. How can we help?"
It's all about marketing and telling the story, and so it's hard to tell a story when you have no audience. So we thought, let's go somewhere public and do our work.
Pre-COVID, full-time corporate jobs for both of you.
Yeah.
COVID comes around, you guys get laid off. And then you start this business, which is doing incredibly well, and there's only the best is yet to come. So the question is, what do you want to highlight about that, right? Getting laid off, becoming your own owner.
Right. Yeah.
What's important about that journey?
Working the corporate jobs, we were like, man, we have the ideal situation, super sexy job downtown. We thought we had it all, and then COVID hits, and we get laid off, and we're like, oh, that's such a misconception that the corporate job and working for a big company is safe and secure. When in reality, it's like you kind of get laid off at any point. So working for yourself was really like, hey, that's unlocking the security. It's like every ounce of energy I put into this can really come back to me into my pocket.
You could have gotten another corporate job. Why did you choose the entrepreneurial route?
We were also guys that, like, when we were in the office, we kept trying to figure out, how do I get my boss's job? How do I get to the next rung?
Right.
We weren't just sitting back, checking the box, going home. We were like, oh my gosh, with this window cleaning and with just honestly having your own small business, every day is like, okay, I have an idea, I can implement it. I have an idea, instead of having to triage to the top.
Every decision like we got to make together instead of having to ask our director and then go to the VP and then go to HR to implement. It's like, hey, let's like move quickly and let's make this happen. If it doesn't work, let's scrap it. Next idea.
What do you guys think is the biggest misconception that younger entrepreneurs may have about operating a business?
Yeah, I think it's like the apparent sexiness of like running your own business. Like you have all these like influencers and people on Instagram that are like talking about how great it is, but it's a grind and you gotta like work hard and fight for every dollar of revenue that comes in and think through every system. So like there's amazing benefits to running your own business, but the cost takes a lot of thought, takes a lot of your emotional energy, and it takes a lot of just hustle and grind.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people think it's going to be extremely passive and they can just
automate it.
Plug it and automate it. Yeah. But in reality, it's like you got to show up. Somebody's got to be doing it. And like, yes, it's passive and the work gets done, but I still got to call in and make sure my guys feel good about their day.
Yeah.
I got to show up for them. And maybe it's one person now instead of showing up for 8, but you still got to show up.
Yeah. Great answer.
Let's go.
If you want to kickstart a window washing business of your own, then make sure to grab the ultimate checklist that has everything you need to get this business off the ground. Just click the link in the description below, right? Somewhere right there?
Right here.
Bah! You guys have described your previous job as sexy as opposed to windows or window cleaning is really not. So how did that experience influence your success here at Pink's?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things we took from our previous jobs, of course. I came from more of a creative background working for other brands, and the best bosses I had were so granular on like the utility behind what they were doing and why the piece was made, and they were just nerds about like the brand aspect.
So it's awesome how, it's clear that you can use your previous jobs, experiences as a stepping stone to succeed in a new venture like Pink's, right? Like
100%.
It's not all wasted.
Yeah, I think like we knew that our current jobs back in the day, working at C3 and at Tecovas Boots, it was preparing us for something greater. So I think there's a lot of people that are working something and it may like
And
seem
they feel
meaningless.
it's a dead end, yeah.
Yeah, but like find whatever it is to like learn from in that job, and like figure out how to like use that job to build a skill set, to build whatever you need to build to like start your own thing.
What do you guys think about actually having no experience at all and then starting a new venture? How would you go about learning it? What's your advice, tips on that?
Yeah, I would say it's actually beneficial. You come into an industry with a fresh set of eyes and you don't have any bad habits. It's just be a learner, be obsessed with learning, get quotes from all your competitors, get on YouTube, get on UpFlip channel and like see and learn from other entrepreneurs who are doing it the right way.
Yeah, we're not reinventing the wheel. There's no proprietary way that we're doing anything. We just think, hey, if we take all the good pieces from other companies we've seen and package it into this service, we can win.
That's a win-win. All right, so learning the actual work on YouTube, that makes sense. The place we can all start. But what about the actual ins and outs of this particular business? Who influenced you? Who mentored you? Who helped you?
Yeah, I would say Steve-O, the window cleaner, who is on YouTube. Shout out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, shout out
Thanks to
Steve-O.
Steve-O.
Follow his channel. It's fantastic. But we would get on phone calls with him all the time. We would be on a job, just cleaning ourselves, and we wouldn't know how to do something, and we would just call
bring him up?
Yeah, and he would just walk us through. We'd FaceTime him, and very hands-on.
Crazy thing is now full circle, our franchisees call him because he's a rep for the company that supplies us.
With the right steps and tools, turning this into this is easier than you can ever imagine. At the UpFlip Academy, we bring you step-by-step blueprints to make starting, building, and growing a business like this one as simple as possible. Imagine learning directly from active business owners like Joshua Brown, who scaled to $2 million a year in pressure washing without ever leaving his job, or Cristobal Mondragon, whose unique strategies and marketing techniques have taken him from car salesman to a $140,000 a month business owner. If you're ready to wring out the revenue with a business of your own, click the link in the description and claim your free access to the UpFlip Academy. So what would be some of the misconceptions of going from white-collar jobs to blue-collar jobs? Like, what's out there that you guys think are misconceptions? How do we go through it?
I think the biggest misconception is that blue-collar jobs are secondary to white-collar jobs. Growing up in the suburbs of Austin and like Houston area, we grew up hearing that the good jobs are being a lawyer, being a doctor, being a commercial real estate guy. Tech world, yeah. And if you're a plumber or a window cleaner or a painter, you are a second-tier citizen, and that's not good enough. And so I think that's the biggest misconception. But I think what we learned is that blue-collar service business people, one, they're the people that make our city go, and two, they're probably making a lot more money than some of these white-collar jobs.
Yeah, I think early on we just felt like we had to like sell it up whenever people asked. Like our friends we thought had cool jobs, they're like, oh, what do you guys do? And at first we're like, well, we're the founders of a home and commercial services company. And we're like, why do we do that? Like, it's not about that. It's like, let's kill our pride and just call it what it is. And we just clean windows. And like, what's wrong with
cleaning a window?
Yeah.
And it's like, if we're going to do this and commit to this, that's where our pride should lie. It's like, no, I have a lot of pride in taking care of my city and providing a service people need.
So you've mentioned contributing to the community in many ways, and that being a cornerstone of your brand, really. Can you just elaborate more on the idea behind that, the reasoning, and how you basically are creating opportunities for younger men to have a job that not only takes care of themselves, but the community? So
it's hard to have a business if you're not involved in your community. That's what small business is all about. It's just being plugged into the local network.
So what are some practical ways that you are contributing to the community?
Do the comp cleans, like highlighting local businesses and giving them a free clean.
Turquoise Trading Post, Dirty Martins, the one, the only, Snow Beach Snow Cones.
You know what's cool?
Everything you do.
Learned it from power washing Josh Brown. And he does free power washing for widows.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's something. That's another way for contributing to the community, one way or another, right?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's like there's nothing better than seeing a local business owner just smile after we clean their windows for free and like filmed it and had some fun with them. Like that's what it's all about.
It's a win-win.
We're a people business.
How large is you guys' territory currently, specifically here to Austin, and maybe how many customers, clients, jobs you guys do on a monthly basis?
Territory here in Austin, or a territory anywhere, is 200 to 250,000 people. So in Austin,
one single franchise.
Yeah, we operate in about a territory and a half for our central Austin location. We're about to open our 4 Points Lakeway location, which is going to be a separate territory. And then, how many customers a month? What do you think?
About 75 customers are on like a monthly recurring plan.
All right.
So like 40% of our revenue in 2023 was recurring.
Gotcha.
25% was repeat. So they weren't on a plan, but they called us back within that same year. And then the rest is one-off. That's your realtor selling a house or your construction clean people.
All right, so your social media is totally wild for a window washing business. A good way, right?
Love it. We're not the first window cleaning company to have an Instagram by any means, but I think what we were watching,
stand out though.
It's different. Yeah, we saw everybody posting before and after, and we're like, dude, that's not engaging. There's no person there. There's no like connections. Like, what if we were actually like, we're in front of the cameras, just like having fun, rolling around the vans, getting stuff cleaned up.
And that's what made it super successful compared to what
I think it just looked different, and people are like, what? How do these guys, why are these guys even doing this?
The strategy was simple. It's just, let's look at what everybody else is doing, and let's do the exact opposite. So no before and afters. Let's create fun, engaging content to get people thinking about window cleaning that have never thought about window cleaning in their entire life.
What are you guys spending on IG today? And I'm guessing it was no spend in the beginning, but just kind of share a little bit about.
At the beginning, we had no idea what we were doing with ads.
Just
we didn't
free
spend any
content.
money. Yeah, we were just putting stuff up, seeing what sticked, and it was growing organically, and we didn't spend money for 3 years. And then this past year, we started actually running ads and
just boosting certain videos that are doing well.
Yeah,
a little bit of
boosting
both.
and then like call to actions, things of that sort, just to like drive estimates for our business.
What's your budget on IG then?
So IG, between IG and Facebook, is about $1,000 a month.
That's not a lot.
Yeah.
So when it comes to expanding into new markets for Pinks, what kind of things are you guys looking for to determine whether it's a good fit or not? You know, market research, etc.
Yeah, a lot of people think like, oh, there's no window cleaners here. Awesome, I can jump in. Yeah, that might be good, but honestly, we like to see all the competition because it proves the market's there. Yeah. And we know that we can do it here. I'd say like almost 90% of our customers have had their windows cleaned by somebody else, and we still are winning the business. So we know it's a proven model, proven system. But what would you say, 250,000 people?
250,000 people.
Okay.
And then
For
we're looking for a
territory.
high density of Starbucks coffees.
Interesting. Why Starbucks specifically?
Starbucks is very strategic about where they put their stores. There's a certain
they are.
demographic of people that like Starbucks, and so window cleaning and Starbucks, there's some correlation there, some overlap in customers.
Anything else you guys look for as far as
Looking
key
for some
metrics?
dirty windows, man.
Dirty, yeah.
Or clean.
Maybe we should start a business where I go out and make them dirty.
There you go.
And you
And
go
we'll
out
follow
and
up
clean
behind you.
So after reaching this level of success with absolutely no experience in this industry prior to getting into it, right? I think you can now speak to the fact that probably anybody can get into any industry and create a seven-figure business, right? Or is there some kind of dumb luck, some timing that plays a role?
I always come back to, like maybe college isn't for everybody, that there is a way.
Especially now.
Yeah, especially now. That's like, I look back and I'm like, man, I really wish I would have taken a year off or some sort of gap between high school to go like do a job that kind of sucked to figure out what's going on and figure out how the world works a little bit more. But I kind of followed the role, popped in straight to a business school, straight into like working for a bigger company, and realized like, oh, I've just had my head down this whole time and never even explored the opportunities that are out there. And it's like, if you come back to it time and time again, but betting on yourself and finding something you feel comfortable that you can actually provide what's expected on it, you can crush.
Get out of that limiting mindset, per se.
And I think like we're not special, but I think we've been committed, and we are just like relentless in our pursuit to learn and obsessed with the customer and figure out what the customer wants. So if someone is at home watching this, I would say just do it. Do it. Like, don't get that analysis by paralysis or paralysis by analysis.
Very common.
Very easy to do. Jump in if you can and learn as you go. So much of our success, if you will, is because we asked for help and people said yes. I think people are honored and they love being asked for help. So no one, don't be afraid to ask for help ever.
Let's talk about the most important KPIs in your business. Break down each one, why it's important, and what it is.
Yeah, we have 4 big ones. If you do these 4 with excellence, you will be successful. 1, estimates per day. You don't get a job unless you send an estimate first. So we want our franchisees to get at least 3 of those a day. Again, that's the floor, at least 3 a day.
Little.
The next one is close rate. So let's say I send 100 estimates in a month and 40 of those close. My close rate is 40%. That is the floor at which we like our franchisees to sit. Our business at Pinks Austin is at a 72% close rate for the year.
Good for you.
Yeah, pretty awesome. The next one is referral partners / how connected you are with your community. So, and Google reviews, really. So it's getting people to advocate for your business and vice versa. So having those referral partners, having those reviews online, very, very important for SEO and just for getting a lot of business. And then the last one, and arguably the most important one, is recurring revenue, annual recurring revenue, that is. So basically, we get all of these clients on recurring cleaning plans. And those cleans are on the books. It's predictable revenue for us. Our guys, because they're going there frequently, they know where to go, they know where to park, they know the homeowner, they know the business owner, they know the staff, they know all the nuances of the building, so they can do it a lot quicker and makes us more
Margin gets
profitable.
better and better.
Ties into the, what do you say, annual customer value, I think?
Yeah, annual
But that ties
customer
into
value.
the revenue.
So basically
obviously.
the ACV, annual customer value, is like this place, we come here weekly at $150 per clean.
$600 a month.
Yeah, $600 a month times 12. What is that? Like $5,000 or $6,000, $7,000 a year? I don't know.
$7,200.
Yeah, $7,200 a year. That's their ACV. So that's their annual customer value to us. And then you get all the other clients and you stack those up. And that's where we get a recurring revenue, annual recurring revenue of $550,000 a year, just already on the calendar. So that's a snowball that we look to build every single day. And it just gets bigger and bigger.
So KPIs, that's like the pillars to track, right? If
No
you don't
support.
have KPIs, you don't look at them, you're
Yeah.
not going anywhere.
100%. We have weekly meetings with all the locations where it's like all those numbers are posted so you can see how you stack up. We rank every location and it's competitive.
All right, let's keep it that way. How have you guys
That's what it is.
evolved as leaders in the last, 3 years, 4 years? Can you give us an example of what maybe you've done before that you don't longer do anymore, and that's a growth sign?
I'll start with something I feel like we did from the get-go and continue to do that is obviously
Is
a
a good
core of
thing,
it.
yeah.
It's just caring about our guys past the clock.
Yeah.
So it's like knowing that we're more invested in their long-term
huge.
life and what's going on than just the work getting done, and that instills them to be like, okay, I do want to bust my ass for this guy and I want to
Genuine
get up
care, genuine love.
and go work.
Yep.
But I think early on, we obviously didn't have our leadership skills as dialed in as now we do. I think we were doing a lot of like, yeah, you should do this, you should do this. That's the thing you need to do. But there was no why and there was no like actionable way.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, hey, this is what that looks like. You doing that means you got to go X, Y, Z and you got to get out and you got to have this sort of conversation. And we have like the metrics now. There were no metrics before.
I think a big part of leadership and a leader's job is to eliminate confusion and to add clarity.
Well said.
And so I think that's like what we're trying to do with our team members, but also with our customers. Like, we're going to eliminate confusion. We're going to speak objectively and speak with clarity, and like knowing that like people will follow that if it's clear.
Even though on the flip side, when it comes to confusion, you mentioned confuse your clients by the
How
way
good the service
how
is.
good
Yeah.
the service
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Meaning, what does that look like? Like, it's so above and beyond that they're like,
That's right.
what in the world
Look,
is
we
going
want
on?
people
Like,
to
I've never
like
seen this before.
when we give them a window, like our hat or our socks and a handwritten thank you card, we want them to be like, what the heck? My window cleaner just gave me a hat
Right.
and I'm
That's
actually
what
going
you
to
mean
wear
by
it.
confuse them.
Like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
confuse them with that kindness, confuse them with how good the customer service and the experience is.
Just to clarify.
Just to clarify.
When it comes to
Add
leadership,
clarity.
confusion, bad. When it comes to customer service, marketing, confusion,
Confuse them.
Could be
necessarily
good.
good to good.
There's good confusion.
Let's say somebody is very interested in becoming a franchisee with Pinks, but for the given moment, they don't have the cash needed to get in. So what would be the easiest, quickest way to get started in this business?
Besides an SBA loan.
Besides that?
It's always away. But Home Depot. Home Depot, baby.
Home Depot, what do you mean?
Just go get squeegee in a bucket. You got a business right away, just like
What
we did.
about licenses, websites, IG accounts, Facebook marketing
If you got a phone
campaigns?
number, you're good. All you
Have
need is a
phone number.
phone number, a bucket, a squeegee, and some soap.
Look, we're not internet guys. We barely made a website, and it looked way better than anybody else just through Squarespace. And it's like, if we could figure that out, anybody can do that.
But I can't get the second floor windows.
We got a ladder on Facebook Marketplace. Our first one was $85.
And we still use it today.
I think there's more excuses not to do those things.
That's right.
In people's heads than
Yeah.
just simply go out.
There's
and
always
start
a
there.
reason not to do something.
Right.
And we're trying to think of the reasons to do something and to say yes and take that next step.
Nice.
But we're always big proponents of like spend up for it. Buy the good equipment.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna feel good
If you
using the
can,
good
yeah.
thing. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you can. Get the proper insurance. Like take respect and dignity in what you're doing, because if you have that insurance, it unlocks a whole nother world of commercial clients. And for all those residential clients that are a little on the fence, it's a great, like I show
Yeah,
them my
so
COI
good.
and they're like, oh, 2 million aggregate, that's pretty nice. Like I think I could take care
Well
of that.
covered.
Yeah, it looks good.
What do you guys do to maximize your close ratio?
One, we give ourselves the opportunity to do what we say we're going to do. Let's say I'm quoting your house. I will tell you, hey, Paul, I'm going to send you an estimate before the end of the day today. And then whenever I actually send you the estimate in your inbox and in your text message inbox, it builds trust in your brain. So we tee ourselves up to give ourselves an opportunity to like execute on our promise. Two, to help increase our close rate, let's say you don't answer that. We send you the estimate and it just goes cold.
Okay.
We'll just call you and say, hey, Paul, we're not following up with you. we're calling because we have a time slot available on Tuesday at 9 a.m. and it has your name on it.
Sort of an assumptive close already.
An assumptive
the
close.
job.
Yeah.
And that's like, you're speaking from luxury of like our calendar's pretty booked out, and this is like speaking from I'm looking for a date farther out. If you don't have anything on the books tomorrow and we're quoting your house
can get
call,
out there.
I'm gonna close it right there on site and be like, hey, here's the price I can do for you right now. You know what? I see your like gutters are a little dirty. That won't take that long. I can hop up there, knock that out for free. But we have a spot at 9 a.m. tomorrow. 2 of our best guys we can get out there. If that's something you want to do, we'll book it right
Those
now.
are some of the tactics to close
We'll do it right there,
and
yeah.
increase the ratio.
And then another, I don't even know if I want to share this, but another little like secret
Yeah.
is we never really discount our prices. We always have a reason if we are discounting, so it's based on frequency. So it's like, hey, I can get you on the calendar right now for $400 to do your whole house.
Right.
But let's say you wanted to, maybe it's gonna get dirty again, so 6 months from now you might want us back out. I can go ahead and book you on the calendar for 6 months out as well as right now, and I'll take off 10%. So that's like,
Save a little dough.
Yeah.
but then also, if someone's like, ooh, this is a little expensive, like, could you do any better? It's like, you know what, before we say, yeah, I can take off $100 or whatever, we're gonna say, hey, you know what, I'll add some stuff. So we're always gonna add a value
Before
or add
we
a
reduce
free
the price.
thing before we reduce the price. And I
Very
think
clever.
it's something, because it's like, we respect the first price we gave you and we like have pride in that.
Yeah, you
And
stand behind it.
Yeah, if all of a sudden I just drop $100, they're like, oh, well then what was that first number you threw?
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your uniform. Unmistakably has the retro vibe, right? Talk to us about the thought process behind it, and
Definitely.
what are you seeing it do to your business?
Yeah, for us, it's like when you get to wake up in the morning and put on something, you kind of get into the mindset of like, all right, I'm taking care of people. I'm taking care of
School
my
uniform or
yeah,
whatever.
I'm
Yeah,
putting
it's
the
got
uniform on. It's like I'm getting in this mode and almost like acting. And so that was like, we got to have a uniform. We got to have something that's just standardized. But then also with this look, it's like, this isn't the best thing to be cleaning windows in the dead of summer, 110 degrees in Austin, Texas.
Hot.
Yeah.
It doesn't breathe.
But that doesn't matter. What it matters is, wow, that looks different. That guy looks like he actually takes his job serious and is going to deliver on what he says he is because he's professional. He's
What's
put
the
together.
inspiration then? 40s, 50s, 60s?
Yeah, I
or
think
what?
60s, like mechanic,
Like
body shop
milkman
mechanic.
type stuff?
Yeah, meets the milkman somewhere in there.
What's
Just
the-
good, timeless. That's all we wanted. It was like a
And
timeless look.
This thing gets us in places where we shouldn't be otherwise.
I was gonna say, what's the feedback from people just randomly
There's
seeing
so many
what-
properties. I was gonna say things we can walk on and be like, yeah, we're quoting the windows here today. And just because we have a uniform, people are like, yeah, I do need that. But
People
we went
immediately
to
trust you when you have a uniform with your company name and your personal name on it. It's like, oh, that guy's trustworthy.
And from an investment standpoint of view, for those that maybe don't have a uniform as legit as this, how much are we talking about?
Oh, it's
Minimal, right?
$60,
Yeah.
maybe? Yeah, $30 for the pants, $30 for the shirt.
Hat,
As,
$8,
as opposed to just jeans and a t-shirt and it's different
Yeah.
every
You
day,
mean cargo
right?
shorts and Crocs? That's what I like.
Yeah, I love how everything's tied in.
What we love the most is like, we had a call from our location in West Palm Beach, Florida, and he was like, hey, I walked in some grocery store and this lady's like, hey, I saw all your videos online and they look nothing like us. But something about the uniform makes everyone just kind of, hey, you look the same.
Uniform.
Yeah, look, uniform.
I like that.
Even though it wasn't him at all.
Enjoyed this episode? Then you can't miss episode 201, where Brandon shares one single decision that led him to making $300,000 a month painting houses. Make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.